What's up, airplane collectors? Welcome to a model airplane review. It's your host Ray. In today's video, I'll be reviewing the NG model 1:400 scale JetBlue Airways Airbus A320. In this video, I'll do a review of the model and its features, and at the end of the video, I will give my personal opinion about what I think of the model and whether or not I recommend it to other collectors. The box is made from a thick cardstock material. It measures 13 centimeters lengthwise and height-wise, and 3.5 centimeters wide. I'll show you around the box now. This is the front. Here's the bottom, the right side, top, left side, and the back side. Included in the box is the model fully assembled, painted, and ready to display, as well as an NG model collector rewards program card. Here's the model itself in all its blue glory. I'll give you a quick 360 before I begin my review. Fuselage length for this model is 9.5 centimeters, wingspan is 8.5 centimeters, and from the ground to the top of the vertical stabilizer, this model is 3 centimeters tall. Accurate to 1:400 scale, and this model is made primarily out of die-cast metal. I'll start up the review with the fuselage. Overall, the fuselage on this model is very nice, and it's pretty nicely detailed as well. Nose profile and shape looks pretty good. This is standard issue from NG and their Airbus A320 family in 1:400 scale, so I've come to expect nothing less. Here is the aircraft's nickname, or I'm not sure what they refer to this as, but this aircraft's nickname is Blue Yorker. We'll move down the fuselage now. Here's the giant JetBlue title. I do notice a small imperfection here. Some of the blue paint appears to be poking out from underneath the white there, or some of it got splotched, so no biggie, but a small imperfection. Yep, I do see a few small strands of dust and stuff here and there, but nothing too major. Oh wait, no, that's on the wing. I was trying to clear these, but yep. Lots of detail to go around. Here we start getting a bit more action in the paint department, and this is where the first of my small, not nitpicks, but things I do want to point out. Here you can see somewhat clearly where the white overlapped right here. So, and also at the top of the aircraft too. Very minor though. These are very minor overlaps, so all things considered, they're not terrible by any means. Here's the vertical stabilizer and the rest of the back of the aircraft. This looks pretty good. You can see a lot of molded detail here thanks to the lighter color of most of the vertical stabilizer, so that looks pretty solid. Paint application seems to be pretty consistent. I do see a dark spot here. I'm not sure what happened there, or if that's just a reflection. Yeah, I do see a small dark spot. Very hard to notice, so I'll cut them some slack there, but I don't know why that's there. But paint and printing application seems to be pretty nice up here as well. Here is the right side of the aircraft. I'll show you the right side. Everything I've said about the left side can also be said about the right side, so I won't provide much commentary here. But so far, so good here on the right side. No paint chips on the title on this side either. Moving on to the wings. The wings on this model look to be pretty nicely detailed. Overall, detail application seems to be mostly on point. All right, I'm not sure what happened here, but I think some of the dark gray paint kind of overspilled into a place where it shouldn't have. Kind of spills into the control surfaces a bit much. Small imperfection, but it's not exactly aligned, so as someone who's an alignment freak, that kind of does freak me out a little bit. I can't unsee it now. Just kidding, of course. But overall details on the wings are quite nice. The control surfaces are clearly defined. I don't see anywhere where they're filled in with paint, so that's good to see. Printed detail seems to be mostly good as well, so very nice so far. This is the left wing. Here's what the right wing looks like. Right wing looks pretty solid as well. Don't notice anything to necessarily complain about. Here's the bottom of the wing. Not too much going on down here. There's really not too much to show down here either, so that's not really a criticism. Now, what is that? Is that a stain? Is that a... Oh, it's just flakes. Ew. All right, so here are the sharklets. The sharklets look pretty good. They're painted an interesting orange color. Paint application seems to be pretty good, and the paint seems to be in the right spots as well, so that's very nice to see. Sharklet shape looks pretty solid. Don't really have anything to complain about there either. I see another small stain here on the aileron. See if I can clean that off. Problemo solved, so that's nice to see. Here we are at the rear of the aircraft. The horizontal stabilizers look pretty nice. There's lots of molded detail on those. That's nice to see. I do see a few paint chips there, or paint imperfections there. Nothing too crazy though. So that's nice to see. APU looks pretty good as well. Here you can see more of where the white paint meets up here. nothing terrible. Well, yeah, no, it's not terrible though. And in NG's defense, it is hard to paint light colors on a dark base coat, so I can't really hold it against them too much. Down here, things look pretty good as well. Molded detail on the horizontal stabilizers looks nice. And overall, things look pretty acceptable in the rear of the aircraft as well. Moving on to the engines. The engines in this model seems to be pretty okay. Don't see anything necessarily to complain about. Here's what the fan blades look like. They look pretty good. Shape looks pretty good as well. Paint application seems to be mostly consistent. Here's the bottom of the left engine. Lots of printed detail down there. And bottom of the right engine. Looks like we got some paint chipping going on here. Some of the blue paint appears to have made... Oh, actually, a decent bit of the blue paint seems to have poked through the silver here. I can patch that up, but not cool to see, NG. Moving on to aerial details, assuming the camera will stay focused this entire time. We've got antennas and sat domes on this model, or just one sat dome. Here's one of the larger antennas at the front of the fuselage. This looks pretty good. Is that a paint chip there? I can't tell if that's a detail or a paint chip right there. I think it is a detail. All right, well, let's just let that happen for now. Move down the fuselage. Here is the sat dome. I do see a bit of a gap between the fuselage and the aircraft. Nothing crazy, though. And ew, there's more hair strands on this thing. Geez, this is starting to look like Panda Models packaging. Oh, well. And then we got one more antenna back here, and then a smaller antenna towards the rear of the aircraft. All of these seem to be pretty good. They look aligned with the aircraft. Yeah, they look mostly aligned with the center of the aircraft, so that's nice to see. That sat dome's a bit off to the right, though, so I'm not sure how accurate that is either. And this antenna looks pretty good as well. Now, there's only one antenna on the bottom of the aircraft, and here it is. It's one of the larger ones, and this looks pretty good as well. Hey, look at that. We're at the bottom of the aircraft now. Let's talk about the landing gear. Landing gear on this model are pretty nicely detailed. I do see that some of the gaps between some of the struts are filled in. Nothing to... Or actually, no, never mind. I take that back. They are not filled in from the looks of it. Nice, nice, because on my two A321 models that I just reviewed, that was the case. Some of the strut gaps were filled, so that is nice to see on this A320 here. The wheels are made out of rubber and they roll smoothly, and they do seem to be mounted at an acceptable angle. Maybe a little bit backwards, but not by much though, so that's nice to see. And here is the nose gear. Nose gear looks pretty good. I do see the nose gear doors are bent a bit forward, so not exactly the best to see, but here you can see the wheel does roll. Let's check out the other side. Let's see how the other side did. The other side, oh, great, no, it's not. It's not much better either, so yeah, NG seems to be having a little bit of trouble with their Airbus A320 family front nose gear doors. They aren't symmetrical either. Not too good to see. Here's a view of the front of the aircraft. Everything seems to be pretty good up here. Wing flex is good, engine clearance is good, gear balance looks good. Cockpit window printing looks good as well. Vertical stabilizer seems to be straight as well, so no complaints up here. Looks pretty solid. That's the end of my review, and we got a whole lot of blue going on here. So the model I just reviewed in this video is in the center shot here. The two you see on the left and right of it are Airbus A321s, also made from NG, and I did reviews on those as well, so feel free to check out my channel for that. But now time for my personal opinion and recommendation. So this model, it's all right. It's nicely detailed. It has its quality control imperfections here and there. A bit more than usual, but again, I'm being super nitpicky, so they're really small. So if you're willing to maybe accept a little bit of risk, because NG's quality has been dropping recently, so if you want to accept a little bit of risk, then go for it. Go for this model. You shouldn't get anything too major. You'll probably get some similar imperfections to mine. But yeah, I do recommend this model. It is pretty nice, and to be frank, I love the new Jetblue livery, and I think it's a beautiful model in general. So yep, that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, if you want to check out the reviews for the A321s, those are also up on my channel as well, so feel free to check those out. And that's all for today. Like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more model airplane content. Happy building, happy collecting, and I'll see you guys next time.